Alrighty guys, welcome back. We're staying in the middle of our furnaces here, and hello.
Oh,
Greetings.
hi.
So you actually got your things right this time. Bad mojo, no stealing. Greetings. So we've done some wiring, and I'm gonna let one of you guys explain this. I mean, I understand it, but we've done some wirings for the chests and stuff.
In between episodes, we did a little bit of wiring.
We wanted to be programmable so that we can use the same design. So you just change these right here, and it sets the conditions for the entire smeltery. We haven't pasted down the top half yet, though.
Nope, we were saving that for episode. So yeah, this one here sets the ore request for all requesters. We just wire it up to these guys and have it set requests. This one sets the requests for the actual output requesters here. And then for the same reason, MadZuri discovered, pretty awesome, that you can use wires to set the inserter conditions by hooking this up to a roboport and having your parameters in the combinator. So,
well, it's a pretty common thing to do, actually. I just forgot for a moment there.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those things where if you don't you use it, you forget about it.
Pretty much. So, if we copy this, we need the roboports. We don't need the smarts. I guess we could, although we'd probably rather just send the wire over the other side rather than doubling it.
You'd send the wire across. You wouldn't use the entire thing.
Yeah, so let me copy this, get rid of the smart thingies. That, and then...
Constant combinators.
Yep. Now, an important thing, because Zuri and I actually, we noticed this earlier when we were doing the workshop, is you want to make sure you don't line up your beacons, because then it throws off your roboports. You want to actually line up your roboports when you stamp it on top, typically.
Yeah, the beacon's going to be a little staggered, whatever way you do it. So line up with the roboports. We made sure that was lined up with the furnaces, actually, before we did this.
Yep. And I smacked this right up against here because it saves bot travel, and why not?
Ideally, you would even have this lower side even closer, but because of the unloading, it's not feasible.
Yeah, ideally, if you did a different type of unloading, like where it only unloads in the middle or something, then you would want to scooch these roboports right up against the track. Alright, so we want to run these wires over.
I've got a path right here for it.
Perfect.
I've made another path.
That'll work.
Oh, okay. Power pole spaghetti it is.
We could probably get rid of the medium power poles in the center.
Well, they're powering stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, you could power them with substations.
Oh.
What do you have against substations?
You can't run through them.
It's pretty vital. There's going to be trains in here that you not have substations there, pretty please.
Oh god, especially for me. Yeah. So another quick note, in case you guys know, but in case the viewers didn't know, you get free wire when you blueprint wired stuff. So that's another important thing, is we don't have to rewire all this because the robots give us free wire.
Bots give you free wire, and also you don't have to reprogram and reset all of the requests manually, even though you do have copy and paste now, whereas previously you would have to do each one by one in version 14.
Okay.
But it's many conveniences to blueprinting.
Mm-hmm. And we're short on modules. I'll go get...
I have the modules. So in the background, there's been this enormous solar field building itself, and it's stealing all of the bot requesty kajigga things.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting how that works. Is bot like placement requests and stuff globally affect kind of everything. So that's why they're not doing anything, because it's so delayed by all the other ones that the bots like aren't doing this yet.
Maybe your bots will do it.
No, I'll just stick them in. If you right click on these little icons, it'll clear them. Damn it. Alright. So...
Oh, here we go. Bot decided to put one in.
Oh, great.
Just one.
Just one.
I see that we've moduled this build already.
Well, mostly if the bots decide to do it. There we go.
I've already put it in. My bot decided, oh, okay, I'm
Oh,
going to
I
put
guess
it in now.
yeah, I guess I'll do it now. So there you go. That is our thing, and it is now easily convertible to copper since we did our little programming thing. Steel, I mean, we could do the same thing with steel and just bring plates in, but I'm not sure if that's how we want to do it.
Steel would be better as turning direct ore into steel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, now they're not feeling lazy.
Alright, so there we go. There's one of our smelter modules, and what did we say? I think we need like 5 of these, so pretty simple. Obviously, I don't know that it's going right here, but this is an easy place to design. So
I'll just grab a blueprint of that.
I should probably do the same. Fill my inventory with blueprints yet again.
That's what blueprint books are for.
No, I'll just fill my inventory with those.
To be fair, I do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Alright, so what's the what's the next step here? I mean, obviously we need to put these down, but I don't know if we want to do that yet. Probably don't even have the materials to actually build multiples of these.
We could start putting the blueprints down, but not building them to see if we can just set out just how much space we need.
Yeah, we need to start pacing out the trains for them all too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tracks will be something definitely that'll take a little bit of planning out and stuff because we're doing our separate train networks and such.
The other thing we could do is the steel build.
Also,
Say-
we could just copy it in from the workshop because we have that one of the really nice combined builds someone sent in.
You mean that one from today that we converted to steel, or a different one? Oh, the other steel build.
Yeah, the older one.
The older one. That may not be a bad idea. We may have to make a few modifications for trains, but that one is actually really nice.
Yeah, either way.
Alright, well, we can start laying these out, maybe figuring out some track or something, because that's going to be probably something we would want on episode, at least some of the track figuring out.
Oh yeah, as far as the modules go for here, we're going to tear it down so it won't have any modules. We just need the modules in here to get the modules in the blueprint.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the actual build, we won't put the modules in straight away. Which is actually, we probably should make sure to put them in a chest or something beforehand. And make sure to get them in the circuit builds, like the blue circuits and the green circuits first.
Mm-hmm. So...
And oil products and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, shall we head up and play some of these blueprints to kind of figure out placing and maybe do some rail stuff, or...
Alrighty, go. I'm keen.
Well, I'm the only one moving, so I'll see you up there.
Alrighty.
Holy, how many exoskeletons do you have?
6. I'm just fusion reactors, exoskeletons, and roboports, and batteries and night vision.
Wow, glass cannon. Or just glass.
Did you ever put night vision in yours?
Yeah, I have night vision in mine. Train. Stop it.
The train's nowhere near you.
I was calling out for anyone else.
I saw it. Thanks, though.
You're actually pretty pro at that. I probably don't need to warn you. You managed to just stand, like, right on the edge and never get hit.
Yeah, how many times did I freak you out during one of our recordings?
A lot. I like this little entry here with the defensive thing and the rails.
Simple, gets the job done. I don't think it's ever actually been attacked.
Hey.
Ooh, delicious iron.
Mmm. We'll definitely be grabbing that.
It's only 10 million.
True.
Yeah, only.
Only. It is surprising how long ore patches will last once you get some of that miner productivity up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's actually quite annoying.
Yeah, my megabase, once I got to mining productivity was 150, started noticing the patches starting to last longer.
Mm-hmm.
Only just started noticing it. It was devouring ore patches. I'd build 5 iron patches, new iron outposts, and then I'd need 5 more because another 5 had finished up in that time.
Yeah. All right, so we can.
Apparently, we're building it.
Well, this is
And
wrong. I think
Yeah, this is the old
we
one.
need to actually tear this down. It's my damn deconstruction thing. Alright, so yeah, this is probably a good spot. So if we're doing... How are we going to do this? Do we want them vertical, like up this way, or do we want them horizontal, left to right?
Let's see. Vertical, there might not be enough room. Also, where would the copper go? Would it be...
Yeah.
Oh, stupid app tag thing.
It's going to be kind of an odd perspective, because I don't like doing it horizontal, but space-wise, it's much better.
Yeah, and it pushes into the sort of enclosed ring that we want.
I thought we were gonna put it further west, actually, quite a bit, where the landmass is thicker.
Yeah, we could do that actually.
Yeah.
I mean, right here's the icon we had set for it, but I don't think this is a good spot. A little bit further west, yeah, so we can fit in
Vertically, yeah.
vertically on the thicker landmass. What did I say?
I don't know. What did you say? All right. Over here, it should probably be enough, right?
Yeah, a bit past that tiny little bit of water.
We can fill that in. That's no big deal.
I was just using it as a reference point. That makes sure we've got plenty of space behind it. Arguably, we could fill in that entire lake to the east of us.
Not it.
Not it.
Okay.
Okay.
Supposed to say not it, and then it becomes Colonel Will's problem. Or K's.
I'll produce all of the grass fish for you guys, all filling in that lake.
Oh, thanks.
Since you guys can't seem to figure out how to do it.
Come on. The one time we want them, they don't generate any.
It's because you have to fill in the landfill using the one tile glitch.
Yeah.
Where you get 3 free landfill for every 1 tile you put down.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
You have to glitch the landfill on top of the fish. Because if you put it directly on top of the fish, it kills it.
Ew, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've spent hours doing that on stream, and I guess our setting watched me do it too many times.
It's punishment.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna let one of you place it. I always get blamed for misplacing blueprints, so go for it.
Right there? Where you're spinning? So are we doing it horizontal or vertical?
I'd like to stack them vertically
Mm-hmm.
and have the ore on the right, and further stack south until you run out of room, and then stack north.
Yeah, so this would be a top one then, you're thinking? And stack below it.
So if I was to place it down, something like that. It's the right way around? Ore's coming in on the right.
Yeah, ore should be coming in the right.
Yep, and then we stack it
And plate on the
down.
left.
It's my damn blueprint.
Oh, I should have put modules in a box.
I just took my
Yeah,
ports out.
whoopsied.
Oh,
Wait, what is this?
skip out the bots.
Do we need to deconstruct it now or something?
It's probably no loss.
I kind of wish I can't see anything. Like placing this, I can't see how far because I can't zoom out far enough.
Hang on a minute. Our top and bottom beacons are off a tile, so it doesn't tile properly.
You should be able to just shift click it and it would work.
Well, we don't want the
Let's see.
networks connecting, do we?
Oh, the networks don't connect. It's
Oh, I see. Trying to share the beacons, you mean?
yeah. We forgot to fix the beacons when we flipped it upside down for the top half.
Darn it.
It'll still work perfectly.
As long as the beacons don't align with the smelters, then it will be okay.
Yeah, you could probably clear a blueprint and pull it off of this, and it'll be kosher.
Yeah, this seems okay. That was my fault when I blueprinted the top half, but
Hey, we found a way to blame you either way.
of course you did, yep. Goes to there. Okay, sweet. 3 more.
Doop.
It's a good thing these don't time out anymore.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Yeah. Only the deconstructs time out.
So, also, for people who are probably wondering, we were actually discussing this like before we even started this session, is that we are purposely not connecting the networks because while kind of like modular things that you can just stamp tons down of in one network is easier, having massive bot networks like in megabases is horrible for lag. Separating out your bot networks like this actually helps a lot with your bots and game performance.
Yeah, it's something that we sort of touched on last time, but didn't really go into a lot of detail with why we're actually doing it like this. It was the same also with the trains and the length of the trains and the size of outposts. It's the size of network that it comes down to.
Yeah, and Zuri, you were mentioning, I mean, we already went over this on a workshop, but this obviously isn't a workshop. You were saying that, like, the bot numbers scale linearly with, like, the game performance they take, but the travel distance, like, squares it.
Yeah, that's back of the napkin calculations that I did based on my knowledge of actually Monte Carlo problem solving.
Right. So having these massive bot networks with long travel distances and stuff is just massively hurting game performance because it's actually squaring the amount that bots take. So wait, are we missing? Okay. So yeah, having these separate networks actually helps a lot, and that's why we're designing it kind of like this. And then just kind of the more outposty type of thing where we have like circuits in yet another area and science packs somewhere else and stuff rather than just one massive base with like, with like a 50-50 chunk bot network or something.
Probably an example, a real world example I can think of is the SpaceX 2 base, which we made as just one thumping great block.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of time going into bots because the travel distance from the train unload all the way up to the labs.
And don't forget the green circuit transit.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. So this actually...
And then you compare it with the 15 sim map, which was after that, and that produced, I don't think it was quite double, but it was a lot more, significantly more production, and it performed, that map performs considerably better.
Yeah, and it was still on the same version. They were both on 14, just to clarify. So
one was running at, what was it, 30 UPS in the end for the SpaceX, 36 UPS on a good day.
Yeah.
And the other one was about 48, 45.
Not crap. Got rid of power pole. Bravo.
Let's do a bit of the old tree deconstruction.
Kind of wish we had
never ran power at her, did we?
We sort of did.
No. Oh, here's an...
Oh, no, we didn't.
So, just a quick side note. Here's an interesting thing that I didn't realize. You guys probably knew it, but apparently unpowered inserters never sleep. So, actually having tons of unpowered builds hurts your game performance a lot.
Yes, it does.
I just found that out the other day, and it's actually pretty massive how big of a difference it makes if you have like tons of these huge builds with inserters in them unpowered.
Yeah, you want to make sure everything's powered. And they only consume an idle power, so it's not a huge drain. If you can't power one of these, like a smelter like this, when it's idling, you got bigger problems.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, our power's like maxed. Right on the edge.
How's it looking? Is it charging accumulators?
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think. A little bit.
Yeah, 16.9 megawatts. At least it's not running on Steam.
Yeah.
Usually I just look at the 10-minute graph and see what it's doing daily.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Alright, so this is iron. Copper will be smaller because we need less copper, but it, again, will be the exact same design, changeable by our smarts. And that, where were we thinking for that? Were you thinking like to the side or above it? Or...
Oh yeah, speaking of annoying patches with millions of ore in them.
that copper one?
I was thinking of the iron one next to MadZuri.
I mean, hell, we could almost...
It's only 10 million.
We could almost just direct feed that in.
Pretty much. Or I think long term we might, or for at least for the whole system, get the whole system to work. We might have to move the build up a stack, up a tileable segment, just so this one doesn't plow into that thing.
I don't think it... I mean, this is the edge. Our tracks may take up enough room to hit it, though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So thinking about this, Zuri, because we want ore separate. If the ore's coming in on the right on these, where would we put copper so they don't interfere and so we can access copper patches?
On the other side of the continent, facing in.
Yep.
So ore comes from the left on those, or from the right again?
Yep. From the left. It's going to be way over there to the west.
And so we enclose the build on this entire continent.
That's the idea.
Ah, jeez.
Why was I trying to say that? It's too early in the morning.
Alright, so... we're going to have to do some exploring for ore patches, because like all of our ore patches are above this. And if we do that, then the plate output is going to hit the ore lines, maybe? Assuming plate is going up.
You can mine them to the north and build a track all the way around the continent.
Yeah, just build one along the top, I think, would be the way to do it.
Yeah, you can put an ore line on the top and all the way down
Okay.
the side where Mojo's at.
And then all the way down the left, too. Okay, yeah, and then we just send the plate out and it goes to the other builds.
Yeah, and that should leave us enough room to move trains around. And since everything's going to be relatively close, I mean, just enough to keep the ports apart, I think, we should be able to cram a lot of builds in there.
I guess we'll find out.
And relatively short train travel distances. It's not a true outpost kind of thing. It's going to be a small independent rail network.
Right, yeah, going between the different builds.
Yeah, so you may not even need stackers inside there.
No, which is really nice because with the independent lines, the lines are the stackers, essentially. So let's see, how far left or west? I want to definitely leave room. So for copper,
we should probably look into green circuits next, because that'll set. Because it's the biggest build, so it'll sort of set the size of how big this thing's going to be.
Well, couldn't we place the copper smelters? I mean, we're not going to put circuits like in between the two, are we? I mean, maybe we are. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be. Oh, well, they'll have to go somewhere in between. Because somewhere between this iron smelter and the copper smelter in this continent is going to be everything.
Sounds like a lot of rail spaghetti.
It'll be fine.
All right. Well, circuits. Do you have a circuit number? I think I closed my little calculator.
I have the thing open still. So electronic circuits, we need 52,274, which is not a very big number, conveniently. Yes, we are so distorted in our way of thinking that that is a small number.
Oh, yeah. Probably would want to split that into 2 builds. Trying to do that in one build is going to be a bit crazy.
Yeah, I was actually envisioning 3 or 4. But we'll see how we go. I may, when I say 3 or 4, it may just be because I've been doing so many big builds lately. We'll see how we go. And we just apply the same techniques again.
Yeah, do some, we will, I believe, be doing some direct insertion with wire into circuits, though. Definitely don't want bots moving that stuff.
Yeah. No, because one copper wire becomes, or one copper plate becomes 2 copper wire. So, but then that's not allowing for productivity. So you're instantly there, making the material movement inefficient.
Yep. And I'm not actually making the whole build here, just to show the viewers. This is kind of what we mean in terms of the direct insertion, potentially. You could actually direct insert, but that makes the build quite a bit bigger by having a space in between each assembler.
The other convenient thing is when you productivity copper wire and circuits, the ratio is almost 1-to-1.
Close enough for government work.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like 14 to 15 or 15, what, the other way around.
Yeah, 14, 15. So 14 copper wire, 15 circuits. So it doesn't. So you need to multiply when you do the build, you need to multiply it by that factor to get the true number of green circuits per minute, because it will be a little bit less. But yeah, 14, 15 or 14 15ths or 0.91, I think it was.
Right.
0.913. 1.931.
If I remember correctly, though, you needed 2 stack inserters if these have the full speed boost.
Yeah, I think so. It was kind of weird. I remember having this discussion with some people that you technically need 2, but it's like just barely 2, and yeah. I'm trying to think how you would even do 2. I mean, you'd have to like do this on one of the other sides, which kind of...
Was that the copper wire?
Yeah, let's put the copper wire between the... between the 2.
I'm trying to remember now. I'm trying to picture my build.
Yeah, I can never actually remember this build completely off the top of my head. I mean, you could almost...
Oh, we can work it out too.
Yeah.
We can work it out too. I'll just stand out the way a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much what the concept will be. Direct insertion through the chest. And if we need 2 inserters, we'll have to figure out a way to do that. What you could do, which would not be ideal... I was going to say, what you could do is have... This would not be ideal at all, but... You could make this a requester, and then have this... Oh, wait, no, that doesn't do anything. I'm an idiot.
Okay, I was just doing the numbers. So the craft speed with the 8.8 beacons is 5.5 on the machine, 0.5 on the craft time for the copper wire. Productivity is 1.4, 40%. with just one machine, it outputs 1,848 copper wires per minute. An inserter, if I could switch the other thing again, to the calculator from before, inserter swings 1,662 per minute. So an inserter, stack inserter fully upgraded with a stack inserter bonus is a little bit slower, but I think if you factor in the 1415, it works out. So factoring in the 14 on 15, it's actually now 1,724. So it's still falls a little bit behind, but not quite as much. So the question is, could we deal with it and just run it a little bit slower, or do we want to try and squeeze in an extra, basically a fast inserter's worth, but in practice you would use a stack inserter?
I don't really see a very good way to fit in another inserter.
Well, it's impossible to get 100% uptime anyway with the 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, it's probably fine, honestly.
I think we'll save more by keeping it this compact and simple versus better ratios.
Yeah.
And complete insertion.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably a good example of balancing practicality versus perfect min-maxing ratios.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the extra size and complexity you would need to make it better ratios or perfect ratios, it'd be a lot easier just to stamp more of these down than it is to make it perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen many builds where people go out of their way to min-max it, and the build is no longer practical.
Alrighty, well, that's pretty much this, and beacons, of course, would just, blah, 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 go along top.
Except
not necessarily exactly like that.
I did that. I know. That was an example. Not exactly like this, I realize.
Well, maybe if you did put it exactly like that, it would slow down enough that one inserter will work.
Well, what, you mean lined up with the assemblers?
I mean, it's horribly inefficient for power-wise because you're basically wasting a third of your beacons, but
I think we'd be better off doing it the right way and just adding more of these, like you said.
Oh, well, that's definitely right, yeah.
Alrighty, well, I think I'm going to call it in. This goes so fast. We're at 32 minutes again. All right.
Just quickly, about 1315 on the uptime, it matches the stack inserter. I just did a bit of a back and envelope number there. So you just scale the production by that factor, and that'll give you the result, the equivalent actual result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it's still pretty close.
So that's 13-15 ratio versus 14-15?
Pretty much. It's actually a little bit, it's like 13.2 or something.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Alrighty. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks as always, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions, leave in the comments, and we will catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Later.